So, a few months ago, we covered the first edition of the Rising Tides Film Festival, an online film festival that was set up to celebrate and showcase the work of Bournemouth University and Arts University of Bournemouth film students' work. We're here talking to one of the entrants of this first festival, Mr. Mohammad Mouselmani. So, Mohammed, thank you for sitting down with us today. We've been trying to get an interview with you for a little while, so I'm glad we were finally able to manage it. I first wanted to sort of begin with a little bit about yourself in terms of, I mean, you're originally from Lebanon, isn't that right? When did you actually first come to Bournemouth?
Well, actually, I came here last September, around like 17th of September, so it's been a year
Okay, so
since.
very recent then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. And really, in terms of, because you're a filmmaker, when did you sort of discover that filmmaking was what you wanted to sort of go on and do with your life?
Well, if I'm gonna be honest with you, like initially, I started studying to become a doctor, which is a
Oh, really?
very long way from what I'm doing now.
Mm.
But during that time, like I've had some problems. Wasn't really sure if it was me who chose that path or was it my environment, because in Lebanon it's either you're a doctor or an engineer.
Oh, really?
that's,
Oh, I see.
that's how they define your success.
Okay.
So um, yeah, after that I had some rough times,
Mm.
which mm, I would like to keep for myself.
Yeah,
But
no, of course, of
yeah,
course.
and I think I remember during that time I used to watch a lot of films as a, I don't know, coping mechanism or something.
Mm.
And I remember like at one moment it was like, yeah, this is what I really want to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't like, as I started doing it, I started remembering that I used to have this camera and I used to film a lot of stuff when I used to be a kid, and even like using my phone. I had an old phone with an app where I used to film and edit sketches and stuff, and I
Mm.
used to really love that thing, but I've never really like considered it to be something that I want to be doing in the future.
I see.
Uh, so yeah, I took the decision. It was a bit. I wasn't so sure about it at first, but then as I started getting more and more into it, I realized that yeah, this is definitely what I wanted to do.
So you stated in an article that you wrote recently that filmmaking and art are not generally known about, really, in Lebanon. So, if you don't mind me asking, what sort of challenges did that present to you in sort of pursuing this dream, if you like?
Yeah. Well, that wasn't like entirely the case like the whole time. I remember like we used to have great actors, great artists, singers,
Mm.
everything. Now it's more about like people that are more worried about their basic day-to-day needs, you know.
Okay.
I'm It's unfortunate that it had to take the an explosion or a blast, the thing that
Mm.
happened in Beirut recently, for people to just know how bad it is
Yeah.
back there. So people are always waiting. Will there be electricity today? Is there water in the taps? Like
Mm.
when you say you're doing something like, yeah, I'm a filmmaker or I want to make films, they start like they kind of make fun of what you're doing. They don't take you seriously. That's the hard part. So this is why, like, as a filmmaker, I prefer, okay, I'm gonna maybe go out now, try to work with like-minded people.
Mm.
Maybe things will change a bit if I come back. Maybe my vision about that country is going to change, and I have something to present for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty hard.
And so, in terms of films, what sort of films inspire you, and filmmakers that you sort of take an example from?
Yeah. Well, if when it comes to directors, I'm always interested in Martin Scorsese.
Ah, nice.
I don't know if it's like obvious in the film that you've seen. I think
Mm.
it is in terms of like the editing techniques, and sometimes he uses overexposure to portray a certain mental state or
Mm.
something. The base of editing and filming, camera movement.
Yeah.
I think I draw much from Martin Scorsese's work.
So yeah, off the back of that, then, Black and Nothingness, which is the film that you sent into the Rising Tides Film Festival a few months ago, sort of tell me a little bit about what inspired that, how that was produced. Was that was that a lockdown idea, or had that been sort of existed before, kind of thing?
Yeah, no, this was literally my first semester film, so it was before the whole COVID situation. Yeah, I remember when we wanted to, at university, they wanted us to write something, even though I was looking forward to working with other screenwriters, because normally I'm used to writing my own scripts, but I've never had the chance to work with a script writer, so I was looking forward to that experience. And they said that we only had like 3 days as a window for shooting.
Wow. Okay.
So initially I was writing something entirely different. It required a lot of cast, a lot of filming locations. No, this is not gonna work. I want to do something that I can really relate to, so that it comes flowing naturally.
Yeah.
And I wanted less filming days. Some less locations. Like, this is why I went to the single character, single location kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as like I remembered that I had a notebook where I used to write stuff, and I was working on something like it was meant to be a book or anything before I came here.
Yeah.
And it kind of had the same feeling, the same theme, and I noticed that what I was writing was very similar to one of the pieces by Fyodor Dostoevsky, the Russian writer, called "Dream of a Ridiculous Man." It's a really interesting piece that had a great impact on me. So I kind of started drawing from what I wrote and what he wrote to come up with, because I didn't have a resolution for the story. So yeah, and as I started writing, just like wrote the whole thing in a single day. I was ready to film. We had the locations. We filmed in 2 days, and then edited the whole thing in 2 days. So it was a very quick but effective project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously, the success of Rising Tides, goes without saying. Did you have any, or do you still have a mind to potentially send that around to other film festivals and similar sort of exhibitions?
Yeah, it's already in some film festivals now, but due to the COVID situation, they're all on hold. So
of course,
yeah, I'm still waiting for decisions. I did submit the first draft of the script before to a film festival in Chicago. I don't remember the name exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a semi-finalist as well.
Oh, brilliant!
So, yeah, it's already in some festivals. Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting it in other.
So now it brings me to ask, what is next for you in terms of projects? Do you have a new project in mind already that you've either been working on for university, or just something that you wanted to create off your own sort of back, really?
Yeah. Well, actually, during my studies, I already made another film, which was like a coming of age kind of film. I didn't write that one, but I directed it, and now I'm already working on I'm trying to try something with animation.
Okay, brilliant.
We also have some other projects on the side. We're trying to make a web series with some friends. It's a comedy. So yeah, but we're just waiting to see where this whole COVID situation is.
Yeah, of course.
Is going to see if we're going to be able. This is why now I'm concentrating more on animation, because I think it has more chances of being made actually.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah. And well, finally then, sort of what is the dream or the end goal for you then as a filmmaker?
When I think about that, I always try to remember, whenever I'm watching a film or something, especially if it's a well-made film, it has a good story. It's it tells you something. It kind of stirs a feeling in you. Especially good films have that kind of thing. This kind of feeling, or if it gets you thinking about something afterwards. I think this is what distinguishes us as humans. This is the way to think about the abstract, to take an idea and carry it forward.
Yeah.
When you watch something and just gets you thinking and thinking, I think that for me is enough.
Brilliant.
If I have the chance to tell stories that could stir the same thing in different people, I would love to do that.
Okay, that's a good answer. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us, Mohammed. Thank you for your time, and best of luck in the future, of course.